Hello guys, gals, and Geometry Dash Level Showcasers, welcome back to the Thinking Space channel. So, last video I made a video about FNM04, but I didn't go all into it, so I'm going to be finishing what I started. Last video I talked about FNM04 and his kinks, and so that's all I really talked about, just how kind of disgusting he is. But today I'm going to be reading the full document and then going over the rest of the images. So I'm just going to do that really quickly just so I can finish this off. I also wanted to address a few mistakes I made in the last video. First of all, I did talk about like how in the beginning, like, I know she's trans, I know she's schizophrenic. I said I don't know who he's talking about. Turns out that's a different conversation, and he was talking about Sabrina. And then second, I think my second mistake, I'm not sure. Actually, no, I think that's the only mistake I made. Actually, yeah, okay, that's the only mistake I made. So anyways, I'm going to read the preface right now. After that, I'll read Sabrina's whole few paragraphs of what was going on, and then I'll read the other allegations on the Imager link. So, let's begin with the preface. This is going to be at 1.5x speed, by the way, so because I talk slow. Hi, I'm Sabrina. Some of you may have known me as Yvonne back in 2021. I was a menace to the community, but I'd like to think I've grown as a person and will prove that eventually, hopefully. The purpose of this document is to lay out the heinous actions of the prominent community member FNM04, someone who has a history of doing bad things, Banshee situation, as well as continuing to do so to this day. He is a sexual deviant, borderline predator, manipulator with Machiavellian tendencies, and emotional abuser. He love-bombed me into thinking he cared for me, and then abandoned me after he got sexual satisfaction from me. I plan on painting a very vivid picture of the reprehensible person that Finn is, and prevent him from doing this in the future. So that was just, like, an intro to this. I have no idea who Yvonne is. I don't know what kind of menace she was to the community. I'm not, like, super deep into every single detail about this. I have heard of the Banshee situation, but I don't know a lot about that either, so I'm not going to get into that. Anyways, let's move on to her full story. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs, so this is going to be quite a lot to read. So this is actually going to be in 2 times speed while I'm reading this. I met Finn in the beginning of November through a mutual group of friends. He approached me in DMs, saying that he enjoyed calling with me in the group call we had just been in, and asked to see some of my GE levels. We hit it off, and spent the rest of the night talking and getting close pretty quickly, eventually leading it into a very sexual direction. We exchanged nudes and talked dirty. After the fact, he told me that he would be there for me forever, and that he would never abandon me. To explain why this is fucked up, and will be more fucked up, I have to give some background on myself. I'm extremely mentally ill. I suffer from diagnosed schizophrenia, bipolar, BPD, avoidant personality disorder, social anxiety, PTSD, and severe abandonment issues, something that I shared with him in great detail. In fact, warning him not to get too close to me at the risk of me hurting him or getting obsessive and clingy, something that he accepted the risk of and made the previously mentioned promises. The following weeks of our friendship were very up and down. For the first week, we continued to call for prolonged periods of time, sharing vulnerabilities and fears, and getting to know each other on a very deep level, getting to the point where he shared some of his previous actions and sexual patterns, illustrating that he had some extremely fucked up kinks and inclinations that he absolutely acts on. After about a week of constant affection and attention, he pulled back hard, becoming cold and consistently telling me that he just wasn't feeling social. Around this time, I had a full-scale mental breakdown and attempted to take my own life, leading to a 5-day stint in the psych ward. When I returned, the cold attitude remained, but the promises of attention and reciprocation also stayed. At one point, much earlier, telling me that he loved the piling stress of being told one thing and then showed another, led me to confronting him on his behavior and asking if he truly felt that way about me. To which he told me that he only said those things because he was horny and thinking with his dick. I was justifiably upset at this and spiraled very hard. To which he told me that he didn't want to deal with this and that he'd block me if I continued to message him, despite me being made to break down over the things he said. Thanks to help from my friend Ice Cave, I was able to clear my mind and organize my thoughts. Telling Finn that night I could no longer be his friend or talk to him, but I wanted to be cordial around our friends. Finn responded to this by essentially blaming me for being too clingy and insulting me before blocking me without apology. In response to all of this, I messaged him on an alt, telling him to unblock me. We argued, and Finn responded to all of this by threatening me with the fact that he knew my address and had my nudes. To which I responded with the knowing his address despite not actually knowing his address, and that I would release all of his, do not unblock me, and apologize for his behavior and take accountability, because he has a pattern of this. We argued for a while before agreeing to mutually assured destruction and leaving each other be. After the fact, Finn deleted all of our DMs together, and I did the same, not before screenshotting his worst actions though. The next day, I opened a group Discord server and was informed that one of the members had a problem with me over doxing their friend, a friend whom I found out was Finn. I confronted him on the matter, as well as sent proof of his actions to people who were involved. Finn freaked out in a major way, first begging me not to release all this, moving on to threatening to dox me, then telling me that he would file a police report on him for extortion, something that has no legal backing at all. It was flat out ridiculous. He also mentioned that he had discussed swatting and telling my parents about all of this. Once I rebuked him and laid out that he had no legal grounds for any of this, he threatened multiple times to commit suicide in order to get me not to release things. After this, he moved to insulting me, claiming that I had hurt everyone around me and that my previous exes from years ago were banking on my suicide attempt being successful. He continued attempting to emotionally diminish me by calling me evil and saying that he viewed me as subhuman. Throughout all of this, refusing to see his part in any of this, viewing himself as a victim who was being sadistically tortured. At one point, threatening to find the mental hospital I stayed at and tell them that I was driving people to suicide. After this, he jumped to saying that he was concerned for my well-being and that I was acting erratic, very desperately jumping from manipulation tactic to manipulation tactic. I'm sure that there was some other smaller things that I'm leaving out, but I'm reasonably very overwhelmed at all this, and just don't want him to be allowed to do this to anyone else. So, sorry if I sounded weird while reading all that. I have to do a lot of cuts because I am like dyslexic or something and I can't read all that. But that is insane. That is a lot worse than I thought it was, to be honest. Wow, yeah. So anyways, moving on, I'm going to go through the other allegations imager link. So let me open this up real quick. Okay. So anyways, I'm not going to read who's saying what, so if you want to know what I'm saying, if like you have this video in the background, I recommend coming over here so you don't be confused on who's saying what. Hello guys, editing thinking space here. I just wanted to tell you that some of these images are not in order, so it might be a little confusing because there's going to be jumping back and forth from image to image, and it's going to be a little weird, but I just wanted to let you guys know. Now you've made it way more public. I told one friend about it that I trusted because I was scared at the time, and she immediately went and told my friend, who then asked me about it. Who? I'm so sorry you were scared. I was 100 times more scared. You have a way bigger platform than me, and use that against me. Don't do anything with this. People who own the server, I am. Fuck that, dude. No, now I have to defend myself because people think I tried to dox you, even though you brought up the addresses before I did. I don't even remember your dumbass address. You memorized and wrote down mine. I'm not planning to do anything unless you do, and I told my friend that I'm not doing anything. She did something retard. To defend myself, or my friends will think that what she said was true. She didn't even tell the right version of things because you clearly left shit out. Fine, well don't release that shit. I can solve it without doing any of that. I showed the screenshots to Aqua anyway, since you want to lie to her. And then she responds to, fine, well don't release that shit. I can solve anything without doing that. Fuck no, LMAO. I don't want to spend forever being scared of you. Go ahead and release my news and my address or whatever. Fuck you. I don't have any of that and I won't do it. You literally wrote that shit down and went through our entire DMs before any of this, and you threatened that shit anyways. I'm sick of this shit. Don't do this. I trusted you. You hurt me and then used me and then threatened me. And you're a good person. And you know I want to do better too. This is going to ruin both of our lives. It's not going to ruin my life at all. LMAO. Mutually assured destruction. Also, it's extortion, which is illegal, so you get sent to prison. Oh no, you're going to release the address that I'm going to live at for like 2 more months. Extortion? I didn't get anything out of you, retard. I just wanted an apology and was scared of you. Yeah, you did, and you got me to unblock you and apologize. You don't have to be scared of me, and I don't want to hurt you. That's not extortion, LMAO. You already did. You already got your dumbass friend to try and turn mine against me. I told them because I was scared, in all caps, saying I tried to dox you, what the fuck, man. And I told them to tell nobody. Any doxing was on your end first. I didn't even say that. Well, that's what they said. Did you not mention the fact you brought up my address first? They aren't telling the truth to you. I did say I have your address, yes. Or the fact that there was a complete power imbalance. I'm gonna get this sorted, and I don't care what you say. I'm showing people to prove the fact that this is on your... Don't! I can fix it, okay? You know Aqua suggested doing a bunch of horrible shit to get you to stop, and I said no. And I haven't done any of it, because I care about your well-being, and I don't want you to do anything, because you haven't. I opened up to a friend because I fucking had to, and I was stressed. This is on Aqua for making it a thing. Like, what shit, huh? What does that mean? Filing a police report, contacting your parents, calling people to your house, swatting you and getting you hurt. Dude, you're fucking evil. I don't want to do that, and I couldn't bring myself to. I don't want to, but I can if you listen to me. Even if you did. That's what I'm saying. I couldn't bring myself to do that to someone. You're not just hurting me by doing this. It's my family, it's my friends, it's not fair to anyone. How the fuck would I be hurting you or your friends or your family? I don't remember your address, and you zoomed in your apartment building on Google Maps one time. Because people would hate me, my address is leaked, and people would send shit to my house. And you're gonna force it so that I can never recover from it? And you want to be a therapist? Now I'm never going to make the same mistake again. Hypocrite. Lamau, dude, you're still trying to manipulate me. I've already sent the screenshots to people, trying to use my career against me. You're not my patient, and you fucked me. I don't owe you shit. I'm not manipulating you. I'm begging you not to do this because it's my life. If you don't realize you're being manipulative, then that's on you. You're fucking crazy. Dude, you're the one who's... Dude, you're the one who checks out to zoo file shit. Fuck. Do you know how extortion works? Obtaining benefit from an individual through coercion or blackmail. That benefit being me unblocking you and forcing an apology out of me. It totally counts. Tangible value retard. You don't understand how any of that stuff works. And then Finn sends a screenshot of a Google AI thing. No, illegal extortion does not always require tangible value. It can also involve intangible gains or losses, such as gaining a favor, causing a loss of reputation, or securing an advantage. While often associated with money or property, the demand can be for any gain, or to cause any loss to the victim, including intangible items like personal advantage, favor, or reputational harm. You're so fucked. Like, I'm really not. Your family would have to sell a bunch of shit for the legal fees, because I know your ass can't afford it. Well, I'm gonna go file a police report against you for extortion. If you do that, I'm legally obligated to. Except, I didn't extort you, LMAO. And I can seek damages. And you're gonna do this if I don't stop talking about what you did. I'll do it anyways. You've already done so. Did I, though? You told me you did unless you lied. Forcing you to apologize to me doesn't account as extortion. Yes, it does. You were threatening my livelihood. So Sabrina sends another AI overview. Forcing someone to apologize does not typically qualify as legal extortion. Extortion involves using threats to illegally obtain money, property, service, and monetary value, which an apology is not. And then Finn says, asking AI, sob emoji, which he literally did. Sabrina says, that's what you did. And then she says, this is clearly the AI overview. She sends an image of, I don't know, some website which is talking about federal crime of blackmail and extortion. I think this is just like, he read this from some law book, the code of law, whatever. An apology doesn't count as something of value, Finn. Non-tangible benefit is maintaining a relationship with me and having me unblock you, and for your own personal relief of a forced apology. Our relationship was not maintained, nor did I ever request it to be. If you don't unblock me, I will do something very bad. A vague threat isn't extortion either. Plus, neither of those things are intangible benefits. It just has to be intent. You have no grounds. A threat to gain a desired outcome, that's what you got. No, that is not what extortion is, Finn. I'm just fucking reading what it is. Go ahead and do it, Finn. No court on the planet will pursue it. Would the psych ward like to know you are knowingly pushing others to suicide? That you're a danger to the public? LMAO, I'm not doing either of those things. You're ruining my life. That doesn't leave me with much of a choice. And you know I'm in poor mental health. So what are you doing it for? Because I hate you, and you did terrible things to me. Because you want to see me suffer. No, because I don't want you to have the capacity to do this to anyone ever again. And I don't want you to have a platform to do this to other people. Well, I already told you I've never hurt anyone and only kept it to myself. Your promises are empty. Why would you ever listen to them? How many times has this happened to you, Sabrina? I have literally no reason to trust you. It only happened once with me. You're pulling this again? How many times? This has never happened to me before. Bullshit, you have a bunch of exes who hate you with all their hearts. Bad emotional falling outs? A lot, but this, no sir. Because our breakups were bad, and they don't hate me, lol. Hybrid is apathetic towards me, and lol, what are in me are on fine terms. They were banking on your suicide, and those were both 5 years ago. Did you blackmail them too? LMAO. No, I never blackmailed them, and neither of them were banking on my suicide. This is just something special, man. How do you manage to one-up yourself with more fucked up shit? Well, I'm concerned for your mental health. I think you're very unstable right now. No, you're not, lol. It concerns me, so should I be concerned? What you're doing right now is what is most often defined as narcissistic control tactics right now. It would be also defined as Machiavellian, which is a trait of sociopathy. You're bouncing between lies, threats, emotional abuse, and finding concern to bounce blame back to me. Good for me. Both your exes were banking on your suicide, and I'm really concerned about your state. And she says, I really don't think so. Maybe before you started doing this fake manipulative psycho shit, but now you've very much proven that you're willing to do anything to stop people from seeing how fucked up you are. Because you're threatening my entire livelihood. You're forcing me to fight for my life. Finn, you literally just, like, are completely unable to see your part in this, and it's genuinely shocking. You did something really bad, and there are consequences to that. To who? If it's not as bad as I said it is, like you've been saying, then no one will care. And then she responds to him saying, to who? Me, retard. I don't give a fuck about that. That's insignificant. I know it's insignificant to you. That was your fault. And he says, because I'm desperate. And then she said, and borderline predator. So, and then he responded, oh, fuck you. No, I'm not that shit, so don't even start it. Sure, if you want to call it that. Not what I'd call it, but sure. I don't know. I think you might be. Predator who has hurt 0 people. Good job. You've hurt several people. I haven't. You don't count as a person to me. Holy shit. All the people you abandoned after pushing them into doing stuff they weren't comfortable with. You're actively making my problems worse and helping fucking nobody. You're giving me more trauma. I'm helping all the people you do this to in the future. I know you're doing that bullshit. Dude, this is your 5th different guilt trip at this point. You think I'm a serial fucking relationship ruiner. I'm an evil, unfeeling monster in your eyes, so why are you even trying this shit? This is the first time, and you think that's who I am forever. No, I think you're a serial manipulator and bad person, and borderline predator. Because I'm desperate? Oh, okay, so here we go. This is where I started with that, because I'm desperate. And then she responds to, you don't count as a person to me, LMFAO. And then he responds to all the people you abandoned after pushing them to do stuff they weren't comfortable with. They literally agreed to it, and we stopped talking on good terms. You just think I'm out to abandon everyone. I'm not. I abandoned you because it was a good fucking choice. You were less than human to me. You pushed them to do it, and even ghosted them according to yourself. I never said I ghosted them. I said I stopped talking to them. I didn't speak to them before that lol. No, the words you used were ghosting. Well, that's not what I did. Show the fucking world I don't even care anymore. Everyone will be able to tell that you're fucking sadistic. I'm really not being sadistic, though. I'm just letting you spin your manipulative yarn. A schizo, paranoid, mentally ill loner throwing a temper tantrum. Shit, you really got me. You're a parasite. I also think that deep down you knew how bad you were. Considering you deleted all your DMs with me. So, did you? In response to you doing that, I deleted them because you threatened to ruin my life with them. Who knows what you would have done to spin yarn about me if I hadn't. I'll ruin yours too. How, LMFAO? Why would I tell you? It'll be a surprise. Lol, you're not gonna do shit. Feel free to believe that. I think you're too much of a coward. You'd be fucking surprised, LOL. I really wouldn't. I have nothing to lose. You know, everything that you've been saying consists way more of a threat than anything I did, right? I can tell people what you did to me. I can show people everything you've done to me. You can be delusional all you want, but this all paints a way worse picture about you than it does me. Do what you want. I will. Again, I still do entirely hate you. I just have no idea what to say. I can't get any of my thoughts straight. I keep bouncing between things because I can't get my thoughts together. Oh, I'm sorry, Finn. I should have considered that before getting mad at you for doing all this shit. And forgive me for getting manipulative when you're threatening my life. Consider me sucking at it a sign of inexperience. And he says, you forced this out of me. No, I really didn't force you to do anything. You were making me squirm for my life and expect me to be kind. I was only going to share it with a few people to defend myself before you did all this. I have no choice but to try everything. You don't know how much this is going to ruin my life. People IRL will find out. I will be fucking ditched by the end of the week. Then why did you do it in the first place? Oh my lord. Because nobody would fucking know, and I didn't hurt anyone. It hurt me. You don't count me as a person, though. And then just a bunch of screenshots of missed calls, or a bunch of screenshots of just calls that lasted for hours. So this is, I think, the calls that they were having when she was talking about, like, they were having really long calls. So anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about today. It's extremely interesting. I would also appreciate it if you liked and subscribed, because editing this video was more excruciating than being skinned alive, so I would appreciate it if you subscribed to help out the channel. Yeah, so anyways, I'll see you guys then later in the next video. Bye.